Good evening. As a preliminary matter, this is John Regan, Chair of the Auburn Planning Board. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ron Brooks. Okay. Nicholas Lynch.
Here.
Steve Chambers.
Here.
Todd Corain.
Here.
Town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Town Planner Adam Menard.
Here.
Staff Assistant Rachel Pressey.
Here.
Thank you, Rachel. Good evening. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Planning Board of Tuesday, May 11th, 2021, now called to order at 7 p.m. This meeting is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting on the town's website, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so as long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For this meeting, the Planning Board is convening by remote participation for the public only, although some members of the Planning Board are physically located in the Selectmen's Meeting Room in Town Hall. Those members and employees are practicing social distancing in accordance with the governor's orders. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, call 1-312-757-3121 and enter access code 133-747-477. Or the public can join via computer at gotomeeting.com/join/133-747477. The remote access information has been posted on the town's website identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by the Auburn Cable Television. Accordingly, those members of the Planning Board, employees, and members of the public who participate, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and please take care not to share your screen. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Meeting materials. All supporting materials that have been provided to the members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Meeting business and ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, Chair of the Board, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the Chair will go down the line of members, inviting each of them by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the Chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in discussion with other members, please do so through the Chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the Chair will afford public comment as follows. The Chair will first ask members of the public who wish to speak to identify their names and addresses only. Once the Chair has a list of all public commentators, we'll call on each by name and afford 3 minutes for any comments. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Welcome to the town of...
John, Ronnie Brooks is present.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Welcome to the Town of Auburn Planning Board meeting of May 11th, 2021. Under public hearings, our first item on the agenda is applicant Aaron M. Sherman requesting site plan approval with waivers under 3.2.3.1.1 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for home daycare at 2 Homestead Ave, Auburn, Mass., map 24, parcel 197. This has been continued from our previous meeting. Does anyone on the board have any comment? Ron?
John, didn't we ask the applicant, didn't we ask for something to, some kind of an agreement between them and the other tenant in the same home or we were looking for something last week that they had aired their concerns, or they were agreeable to what was going to happen. Something.
There was an issue raised with the fence that Aaron put in between the yards, and we have a letter from her lawyer saying that she has the legal right to do that. So that's out of the way. As far as agreements between the parties, that's going to be between them, and we have no jurisdiction over that. Anything else, Ron?
No, I'm all set.
Nick, do you have any questions or comments?
I guess more so comments, John. I kind of to Ronnie's point, and I know that we really don't have the ability to ask for an abutter to, or for them to have an agreement in place, but I just, I look at the nature of the business and there being children involved, and I certainly wouldn't want, any children to be part of any type of environment where, this is a unique situation. You have a shared wall. So if the other people aren't on board, I don't know 100% how comfortable I feel with the fact that you have, children involved in the middle of disagreement between people who own a shared wall.
Understood. Steve, do you have any questions or comments?
But again, that's just a comment. I understand it's not.
No, I understand, Nick. It's a good point. Steve, do you have any comments or questions?
There's also an agency that has to inspect and approve the daycare if we were to grant this waiver. Is that correct?
That is the state. Yes, correct. It's a special permit.
Okay. Okay. Then I have no other comments or questions. Thank you.
Todd?
No questions. I would just say that the petitioner has met all of our requirements, including the additional information we've asked for over the past 2 meetings, and I'm prepared to support this.
Okay. Before I make my comments, Aaron, if you're on, do you have any comments?
This is Attorney Justin Rafelson on behalf of Ms. Sherman. Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
First of all, in speaking with Ms. Sherman and in reviewing the Town of Auburn bylaws, it's clear to me that the type of daycare center that she has, which is obviously allowed by special permit with site plan approval, also seems to be in harmony with the bylaw. I've gone through the special permit requirements. It appears that she has met all of those requirements. It does not seem to me that there's anything here, aside from possible abutter complaints, which again is not, it's not a game changer in terms of issuing a special permit. And certainly Ms. Sherman will work with her neighbors as best as she can in order to make sure that they're satisfied. Ms. Sherman's been out of work for quite a while now due to the pandemic, and this daycare center will help for her to seek and get gainful employment. This is her livelihood, and this is something that the board can help achieve in helping her get a stable job and contribute to the community of Auburn and its children. So to me, this is an obvious situation where, absent any other possible complaints from any other abutters, this is really just an issue where the neighbors have to get along, and Erin understands that, and I've gone over that quite meticulously with her, and it's something she wants to do. She wants to keep the peace with her neighbors, and the erection of the fence was a big part in achieving that. So I think, board members, if you consider all of the things that she's done in order to make this project a reality and to get as close as she can to perfection under the bylaws, I think this is something that will not harm the neighborhood, and it'll directly positively affect it by having extra space for children to go to, for other parents to drop their kids off during the week, and it'll be a win-win for everyone.
Anything else?
That would be all for me at this time.
Okay. Does anyone from the public have any comment? There being none, I only have one. And if you go to page 5 of the Homestead Avenue Condominium Master Deed, on page 5, under paragraph 8, I will read what it says. The purposes for which the building and units are intended to be used for are as follows. Except as provided below, each unit shall be used solely for residential purposes. No trade or business may be conducted in or from any unit except that an owner or occupant residing in a unit may conduct business activities within the unit, so long as business activity conforms to all requirements of the Town of Auburn zoning bylaws. The terms business and trade as used in this provision shall be construed to have their ordinary generally accepted meanings and shall include, without limitation, any occupation, work, or activity undertaken on an ongoing basis which involves the provisions of goods or services to persons other than the provider's family and for which the provider receives a fee, compensation, or other form of consideration, regardless of whether such activity is engaged in full or part-time. So according to the condo agreement that she signed, I believe she has to go to the authority of this, which is Habitat for Humanity out of Worcester. There is an address in here for it.
And I believe Aaron has spoken to them about this, and they are aware. Aaron, if you could elaborate.
Before you even elaborate, Aaron, I don't mean to cut you off, but unless I have something in writing, this is beyond the control of the planning board. And until we have something in writing from the owner's organization, and by that, it's Brian Clancy, 11 Distributor Road, Worcester, Mass. For Habitat for Humanity, then I would be willing to continue this to the next meeting. And if you get a letter from them that's notarized saying that it's okay, then I don't have a problem with this. I'm trying to get this through, but this is beyond the planning board's realm of not only responsibility, but authority. So are you willing to go forward and get that letter from the, basically it's the people governing your home?
I don't think I've actually spoke with them, and they didn't see why I wouldn't be able to do a home daycare, so I can see if they can write something up for you guys.
That would be great, because according to your agreement that you signed, it says you can't do what you want to do. And it doesn't specifically say daycare. It says any type of business where you provide services to others other than people in your family and receive compensation for it. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but...
I had a question.
Sure.
Did Ashley Garcia, that lived in the other side, end up getting a letter from Habitat for Humanity to do her home business as well?
I have no idea if she has a home business there, Aaron. It's beyond me. We're not a detective agency.
Yeah, we did have a town meeting for that as well.
Not with the planning board.
That was, I think, ZBA.
If I may interject regarding that page 5, section 8A, I don't see anything here that restricts her from doing it as long as it's in compliance with the Town of Auburn bylaws. It doesn't require her to get anything in writing, and basically all it says is an owner can conduct business as long as the business activity conforms to all requirements of the Town of Auburn zoning bylaws. So my perspective on that is as long as she gets a special permit, then she's allowed to do it. There's nothing in there that restricts her.
But the next paragraph,
And that's just from my,
the next paragraph on that page definitively says you're not allowed to, I'll read it again. The terms in business trade as used in this provision shall be construed to have ordinary and generally accepted meanings and shall include without limitation any occupation or work or activity undertaken on an ongoing basis which involves the provisions of goods or services to persons other than the provider's family and for which the provider receives a fee, compensation, or other forms of consideration, regardless of whether such activity is engaged in full or part-time. That's got nothing to do with the Auburn zoning bylaws. They can approve that all they want, but if her contract with Homestead for Humanity says she can't do it, she's got to get permission in my book. And until I see a letter in writing.
respectfully, I disagree. That is a definition section and has nothing to do with the first clause, A, the first part of that clause, which says she's permitted as long as it meets all the requirements of the Town of Auburn zoning bylaws. And then it has a definition section to define what business activities are.
Okay.
It doesn't restrict her. That's just a definition section.
I don't want to get argumentative here.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Nick.
Would it be worth it for us to just get our comment from our legal counsel, and that way you can kind of limit any interpretation?
Adam, think that'd be wise?
I can certainly reach out to town council and get their opinion.
Sounds fair to me, Nick. It's a good idea.
I would just prefer that rather than us speculate on what it means and what it does.
I had another thing to say too. When I had the letters go out to all the abutters, Habitat for Humanity was on the list of abutters, and they didn't attend any of these town meetings, so I'm assuming that their absence of attendance means that they're not opposed to it.
Through the chair, I don't know if we can make that assumption, can we?
No. You know what happens when you assume? I just don't want anything coming back on the planning board or the town of Auburn that something was done out of line here or out of agreement with their lease or agreement with Homestead Humanity. I don't want any part of it. But if we reach out to town council and he says, yeah, she's good to go, then I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with her trying to do a daycare center right from the get-go. But we got to get over these certain hurdles to make me comfortable and to protect the town's best interests.
Certainly, we would be in agreement with town council's interpretation, and I think it's going to be similar to ours here. The clause A allows it, period, as long as the town of Auburn signs off on it. So I think the ball is in your court versus the Habitat for Humanity's court.
Through the chair, this is Nick. I just have a suggestion.
Go ahead, Nick.
Attorney Rafelson, I would tend to agree with you from the standpoint of, but rather than having to push this off even further from Ms. Sherman, it might not be a bad idea if we decide to check with town council if at the same time, something is gotten from Habitat for Humanity to save everybody's time rather than, in the event that it does come back and then they need something else, then we end up wasting more of Ms. Sherman's time.
Sure, absolutely.
How about if we do this, Adam? Can we do approved or accepted as presented pending with a condition that town council says it's okay?
Yeah, I don't see why we can't include that as a condition.
That way, if he says okay, you guys can let her know and we're done.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Does that sound fair?
Absolutely.
May I have a motion?
John, it's Ronnie.
Go ahead,
I have
Ron.
a question.
Go ahead.
John, could you just, before we close the hearing, go over the waivers that have been requested? Or is it everything?
It's pretty much everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Landscaping, engineering plans, stormwater, lighting.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
I don't think we made the daycare center on, was it Jerome Ave, get any of that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well,
No.
so I'm willing to proceed in that light. And if you're agreeable to that, we will proceed in that light. That way, we don't have to go through a continuance. It'll be, Adam will check with town council. Once we get our answer from town council, then it'll go from there. It'll be a direct phone call or whatever, or an email
Yeah,
from town council, that what he's written back, and Adam could send you the email, because I believe we have your email address, Aaron. I'm not
Yes,
trying.
that's correct.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be obstinate. I'm not trying to get in your way. I'm just trying to protect the best interests of the town. We don't need a lawsuit.
Yes, I understand. I understand entirely.
May I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make
Steve,
that
I'll make
motion.
Okay, Ron made the motion to close.
Steve, I'll second.
May I have a second?
Steve, second.
All those in favor? Todd?
Yes.
Steve?
Right?
Ron?
Aye.
Nicholas Lynch?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. This public hearing is now closed. May I have a motion to approve this application with the condition that we get clearance from town council after Adam contacts him?
John, I'll make the motion that you just stated, but I'd also like to say, and any conditions town council may recommend.
Okay, that's fair. May I have a second?
Todd, I'll second.
All those in favor? Nick?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is applicant Eastland Partners Incorporated, a definitive subdivision plan for 3 building lots and construction of a roadway and related infrastructure and improvements on property located at 50 and 190 Washington Street, map 34, lot 4, and map 27, parcel 14. They have requested a continuance. May I have a motion to continue this hearing?
This is Nick. I'll make that motion to continue.
May I have a second?
I'll second it, John.
All those in
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ron. All those in favor? Todd?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. It will be continued to our next meeting, which is scheduled for
May 25th.
May 25th, 2021. Next on the agenda is applicant Modern Structures Incorporated, a definitive subdivision plan for 3 building lots, construction of a roadway and related infrastructure improvements on property located at 92 Tinker Hill Road, map 59, parcel 5. This has been continued from our last meeting, and they requested a continuance to our next meeting. May I have a motion to continue?
John, this is Nick. I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
John, it's Ronnie. I'll second.
All those in favor? Steve?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. The continuance is approved and will be heard on our next meeting on May 25th. Other business. Is there anything to discuss, Adam?
Just one quick update. The Leesville Pond Water Quality Event, the MVP project we've been working on, that event scheduled for May 18th, next Tuesday. will be set up outside the polling stations town election day at the high school. So whenever you're go vote, swing by, check out what we have.
Thank you. Next is meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our April 27th, 2021 meeting?
John, this is Nick. I'll make the motion to approve those minutes.
May I have a second?
This is Steve, I'll second.
Thank you, Steve. All those in favor? Todd?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Myself, John Rodriguez, and I. It is a vote. This will be continued to our next meeting on May 25th, 2021. There's no new business unforeseen by the chair, and you already given us the update.
Yep.
So may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
John, this is Nick. I'll make that motion.
Make that motion.
I'll take Nick as a motion. I'll take Ronnie as a second. Does that sound fair? So all those in favor?
There.
Aye.
All those in favor? Todd?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Myself, John Rodriguez, and I. This meeting is now adjourned. Have a great night. We'll see you in 2 weeks.